While the BET Awards were distributing trophies, Papoose was out here giving out rings. Yes, you read correctly, in the middle of the BET Awards broadcast. Not backstage or in a private suite. Papoose got down on one knee and proposed to Claressa Shields. The crowd was shocked, the camera shook, and Remy Ma burst out in tears on live television. This isn't a rumor. This isn't a tweet. This was a red carpet romance that turned into a public betrayal. We have the footage, the fallout, the fake. Insiders and the tears to prove that it was surgically savage and televised. What you're about to hear could potentially erase someone's entire legacy. Fans are calling it the most disrespectful stunt since Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. But hold on, how long has it been building? Was Claressa the rebound or the replacement all along? Did Remy Ma really find out at the same time as the rest of us through a standing ovation and a camera cut? At the 2025 BET Awards, in front of A-list celebrities, live cameras, and a crowd of millions, Papoose stood next to a woman who wasn't Remy Ma and asked her to be his forever. That woman is none other than two-time Olympic champion Claressa Shields, and the moment is cinematic. He didn't just whisper it backstage, he didn't even wait for the show to end. This was the time when Remy Ma and Papoose were the poster couple. For Black love, the couple that overcame prison bids, cheating rumors, career slumps, you name it. Claressa received recognition for her contributions to women's empowerment and athletic excellence during a tribute segment. Papoose entered the room without warning, holding a microphone and a box in his pocket and a composed expression that said, "This ain't no stunt." He looked at her and the audience before saying the 12 words that broke some hearts and warmed others. "I've found peace in you. Will you marry me right here, right now?" Claressa gasped, covered her mouth, laughed, and then responded, "Absolutely." The camera pans to Queen Latifah clapping, Usher nodding, and Siza wiping her eyes. But where was Remy Ma? Oh, she was in the second row, and when the camera cut to her face, it was glassy-eyed silence. She walked down the aisle with mascara running down her cheek. Viewers caught it live, but the cameraman didn't cut away quickly enough. And by the time Remy reached the back of the auditorium, people on Twitter had already posted, "Rayino, loudly crying face, 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 loudly crying face. Her departure, this isn't a show, folks. This is history." Within minutes, the hashtags, #BET proposal, #Remy left the building, and #Claressa Issa got the ring. But let's not act like this happened overnight. It was a slow-dripping betrayal wrapped in champagne flutes and red carpets. If you go back far enough, you'll see the signs. For example, remember Claressa's cordial interviews in which she repeatedly referred to Papoose as her brother and mentor? In music, or that enigmatic training camp in New Jersey that she posted about for months, which coincidentally happened to be within walking distance of Papoose's second property. Try to hide the fact that industry insiders had been speculating for months that something was simmering behind the scenes, particularly after Papoose and Remy began to appear less and less in public together. There were no more brunch selfies, anniversary posts, or joint press appearances. And when Papoose abruptly took over Claressa's music career, people assumed it was just business. However, last night showed that it was personal from the start because of the intimacy in that proposal, which wasn't new love energy. Let's talk logistics. How does a man plan? Papoose asked for lighting cues and a wireless microphone 3 days in advance, which isn't spontaneous. Another source said we had to cut 2 performances just to make time for his moment. It was all pre-approved. This makes Remy M's walkout colder, because not only did she not know, but BET producers made time for it precisely because they knew this was planned, coordinated, and packaged for primetime betrayal. As the show came to an end and fans flooded Instagram with fans, Claressa shared a picture of herself and Papoose with their rings raised. The caption read, "When it's real, it doesn't need a warning ring." Let's repeat that, it doesn't need a warning. A bar, a bomb, a diggle of the above. The internet exploded. Commenters screamed. The disrespect is unreal and Remy deserved a phone call. At least Papoose transformed Bet into Jerry Springer with lights. But some others, the Claressa defenders. But as all of it unfolds online, genuine questions are starting to surface. One of the memes depicts Remy holding the microphone during her rap battle days, edited to show a Bet program schedule as her opponent. Another was a split screen, with one side showing Claressa glowing with the ring and the other, Remy leaving. Like, this isn't worth the press powder. She had the glow, Remy had the ghost, and she didn't steal from anyone. It's performance art with a diamond. Where does Remy Ma go from here? Emotionally, publicly, and musically? Because this isn't just a couple drama, it's a culture shift, a PR assassination, and possibly the end of a legendary hip-hop union. And we have 2 more pieces to uncover because the scandal is going to reach DEFCON 1 thanks to leaked Bet footage, backstage audio, and even a mysterious text thread from Remy's alleged cousin. If you thought the proposal was crazy, wait until you hear what was captured on mic backstage. Want to sit down because just minutes after Colga glittering yes broke the internet and Ree's walkout became the year's most popular meme. BET staff members began chatting about what happened backstage, and the leaks came quickly. Within hours, a viral video featuring Papoose and Claressa hugging tightly in the background, surrounded by Bet handlers, producers, and a few starstruck interns, appeared on TikTok. The audio was crystal clear with one voice, possibly Remy, off camera yelling, "Oh, now it's a show." You think this has gone in cute for y'all? The video is only 17 seconds long, but it felt like the internet held its breath for all 17 of them. Comments poured in. That's Remy. That's her voice. No doubt she was right there when it went down, brr. It's turning into a season of power. BT attempted to remove the footage twice, but as you all know, once it's out, it's never going back in the vault. Then came the second bombshell. A Bet sound tech sent an anonymous message to a gossip blog, stating that earlier that day, while Claressa was in glam and Papoose was practicing his proposal cue, Remy Ma appeared in the backstage area without being invited. She wasn't supposed to be near that area. Security let her in because she's Remy Ma, but she was pacing heatedly like she knew something was up. The source also wrote, "We saw her looking at the teleprompter. She read the cue line. When Claressa's segment ends, cue, miss for Papoose. She went ghost after that, just disappeared into the audience." Let that sink in. Remy allegedly learned about the proposal cue before it happened, so when she left during the show, that then came the Instagram meltdown. Fake screenshots of Ree's private Fiona at Offbeat Remy totally made up clearly began circulating, showing her reposting dubious quotes like "No ring formed against me shall prosper." Wasn't a surprise, it was a strategy. One industry veteran tweeted, "She wanted us to see her walk out. I retained my dignity even though she got the diamond, and the coldest one is treachery when you expect devotion." Was the account even? Hers. Did the fans believe it completely? Speaking of fans, they went into detective gear, started analyzing the entire Papoose-Claressa timeline in an attempt to uncover the clues. One fan thread went viral for pointing out that Claressa and Papoose had begun working out at the same private boxing gym in Brooklyn in early 2024. By mid-2024, Claressa had included Papoose in a music meets fitness TikTok where they were performing pad drills. Subsequently, they performed the infamous Spunker freestyle, in which Papoose stared at her as if she were the only woman in the world. Finally, fans noticed that Claressa had been wearing a gold chain engraved with the word Pap since December 2024. Guess what? Remy had disappeared from all public appearances. Ree's peers, of course, had something to say as well. Ra Ali went live on Instagram and said, "I told y'all that man's S been gone. Y'all just didn't want to see it." Since that same month, people have been wondering if this is a fair turn relationship occurring in plain sight. An ex-Bet producer tweeted something even more chilling. Let's be honest, Claressa wasn't just honored last night. She was crowned. Bet practically handed her Remy's crown and dared her to drop it. Joe Button, meanwhile, intimated on his podcast that something was about to happen, a reality show or documentary. Then, late that night, A appeared, purportedly teasing a new documentary series called Unboxed, the proposal that shake hip-hop, narrated by, you guessed it, Papoose. In the teaser, you hear his voice saying, "People see the ring, but they don't. No, the road. They think I turn my back. But sometimes turning forward means letting go." What was Claressa doing through all this chaos? Posting stories about her NG wine in a silk robe and tweeting a single emoji? Crown? No words, no shade. Just a crown, and fans ate it up. But the internet was. Even Charlemagne commented on The Breakfast Club, Papoose proposing a bet. That's either genius level clout or the most disrespectful breakup in live television history. Then came the final twist. Half were Team Claressa. They earned this. Remy had her shot, and Papoose looked happier. Sometimes growth comes wrapped in scandal, and half are angry. Remy put years into that, man. This isn't love. Claressa will soon find out. Karma. Don't miss it. We're 2 parts into this lovely scandal, and it's obvious that this wasn't spontaneous. It wasn't innocent, and it might not be over because a Bet insider just teased one more unreleased clip, and what it allegedly shows Remy Ma confronting Claressa after the show in the hotel lobby. But who leaked that audio? Fans believe it was someone from Claressa's camp. One tweet went viral, and that person's team is savage. They're releasing clips like Marvel trailers. Heels, and it's coming next. By the time the BET Awards were over, and everyone was returning to their 5-star suites, Remy Ma had stopped crying and was storming. That's when things went from emotional to explosive. Less than a day later, a grainy, time-stamped video of a hotel lobby surveillance clip appeared on blogs. It purports to show 2 women shouting at each other. One is wearing a glittery green dress that resembles Claressa's best look, while the other is wearing silver heels and a satin shawl. Remy security is seen attempting to keep them apart. You can't hear every word, but Remy rips off Claressa's shoe at one point, and she leans forward as if she's daring her to swing. Someone screams, "Not here, cameras." Then the video cuts, and social media turned into a raging conflagration. Raya sobbed loudly, and she pulled the Bronx out, and Claressa didn't flinch. The security seemed unsure of who to protect, but that wasn't even the most outrageous part. According to sources close to hotel staff, Remy attempted to confront Claressa in the lobby after learning that she was staying just 2 floors below. In Papoose's suite, she allegedly said, "I don't care how famous you are. You don't replace me like this." The same source said that hotel staff had to escort Remy out of the building while Claressa's team called for private security. The Bet after party was canceled, and the Bet representative claimed it was for safety reasons, but fans knew better. Then came the cease and desist rumors, which 2 anonymous insiders said were utterly false but credible. Claressa's camp is reportedly considering suing Remy for harassment and defamation, particularly if any of the lobby footage depicts physical contact or threats, according to a phony but spicy-sounding legal blog. Remy Ma could face numerous legal issues if the footage is licensed and released, especially given her parole history and past convictions. What began as a viral proposal quickly turned into a potential legal circus, but it gets even messier. Remy's former publicist, who is again completely fictional for the script, went on a live stream and dropped this juicy quote. "I begged her to keep quiet after the proposal, but she said, 'No, I want to talk to her woman to woman.' That's not a comeback." That's a warpath, Claressa. Meanwhile, didn't bat an eye. She shared a mirror selfie from her hotel room with the caption, "Grace. Under pressure nail polish." She went live on Instagram for 5 minutes without saying anything, just letting the ring shine on camera while sipping wine. The fans were loud, but they were divided into 2 factions. Team Remy and Papoose. She carried that man when no one knew his name. This isn't how you leave a woman. You don't cheat and marry the side chick at the same time, Papoose wrote. Nothing, no follow-up post, no story, not a word. And that silence spoke volumes. Then, in a turn of events that no one had anticipated, a mysterious account posing as Claressa's cousin tweeted, "Y'all don't know the half that ring has been paid for since December. People lost it in December. Was planned for months." Remy was still posting anniversary pics in January. That means Claressa Ben wifey, we just got the episode late. But while fans were fighting, some companies began to distance themselves from Remy. A perfume campaign with her name on it was discreetly halted, and a reported Netflix deal for a rap series was put on hold, according to one PR executive. Brands get nervous when the public views you as the aggressor, no matter how hurt you are, especially when there's video involved. Claressa reportedly received proposals from a boxing lifestyle website with Amazon Prime, a Vogue digital cover featuring strength and gentleness, and even a late-night visitor. Meanwhile, she was receiving calls from fashion brands and media outlets all night long. The glow-up on Jimmy Kimmel is instantaneous, but at its core, this isn't just about fame. It's about betrayal, public suffering, and private decisions that millions of people are watching. Fans are wondering if this is true love or a carefully staged revenge plot. And if it is love, why did it require a stage and a microphone? Because, yes, it was dramatic. It went viral. And it felt like a Bet movie script dropped into real life. But somewhere in a penthouse in New Jersey, Remy Ma is watching her reputation and possibly her entire legacy being rewritten in real time. She hasn't made any official statements, distract yet, but if there's one thing Ray has consistently done, it's fire back. According to sources, she has been in the studio canceling 2 events to focus on personal projects, and something is coming. What will happen next? Will Claressa and Papoose get a wedding special? Will Remy release a song that ends their career? Or will this become the hip-hop equivalent of a royal divorce? All we know is that Bet may have aired a show, but what we witnessed was a takeover, and this trilogy of love, loss, and limelight isn't finished yet. Was that simply a proposal? Or did we all witness the funeral of one era and the birth of another? Live on stage under flashing lights and a Bet logo, because, let's not sugarcoat it, when a man like Papoose kneels, calls Claressa Shields the woman of my future, and hands her a ring in front of the entire industry, it's not just romance, it's a declaration, a rebrand. For Remy Ma, it was a public replacement. However, the question is whether Claressa won because she loved harder. Whether she played the game more cleverly, or whether she lost because she didn't follow the same rules. Positioning and public perception, now it's your turn to talk. Do you think Papoose actually moved on? Or was this proposal a spiteful stunt that involved a loudly crying face? Did Remy Ma deserve better? Or did she see it coming all along? Above all, would you have swung first in that hotel lobby or walked out like her? If your jaw dropped even once during this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more explosive tea, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next public meltdown or backstage betrayal, or front row controversy, because talking head, we flood timelines instead of spilling tea around here. This has been another revelation from Gossip Spill Vibe. See you in the next conflagration.